So you're moving to the Charlotte area and you're considering Barclay Downs. Well, I am here to tell you everything you need to know about the Barclay Downs area so you can make your selection wisely. Now in this video, we're going to go through everything regarding commute times, prices, schools, you name it, we're going to cover it so you understand exactly what it's like to live in Barclay Downs. Now if you're looking for everything Charlotte, North Carolina, the ins, the outs, and everything in between, including South Carolina, you've come to the right channel. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that little notification button to stay up to date on all videos Charlotte, even the ones you didn't know you needed to know. In addition to that, I really do get calls, texts, emails, Zoom invites every single day from people just like you, looking to move to the Charlotte, North Carolina, and South Carolina areas and want to make their move smooth sailing. So if that's you, whether you're moving 9 days or 90 days from now across the world, across the country, or just across town, all of my contact information is in the description below. Reach out to me, call, text, email. I'm here to make your move exactly what you want it to be. As I mentioned, in this video, we're going to go through all the details of Barclay Downs, the pros and the cons, so you can get an idea of what it's like to live in the Barclay Downs area. Let's go ahead and dive in. First off, Barclay Downs is situated in the south central area of Charlotte. If you were to look at Charlotte on a map, which will pop up on the screen here in a second, you'll notice that it sits just to the south of Uptown and still to the north, however, from that 485 belt, putting it in the perfect location to be able to reach everything in an easy period of time. Now, we're going to start this particular video out with a con. And I know that's very much unlike me because I always start with a pro, but we're going to start with the con for this video, having to be commute times. Now, some of you might be wondering, how is commute times bad if it's in the middle of Charlotte? Well, let's talk not so much about going to work, but perhaps going anywhere outside of the Barclay Downs area. Now, this is a very popular location, and sitting within the Barclay Downs neighborhood, you have the second largest business park in Charlotte. In addition to that, you also have Symphony Park and South Park Mall with all of its associated little mini malls around it, I guess you could say, more like strip malls, all situated in this one location. Now, the challenge for this is there are smaller roads, meaning the roads are not as expanded as you would probably want with this much traffic coming into it. So it's not so much a problem of commuting to work as so much commuting around that particular area during those rush hour traffic times or on weekends or events. Now, anything outside of that, you are in great shape. You've got a Whole Foods right around the corner. You've got the mall right there, plenty of shopping, plenty of dining, and you're only about 15 minutes from Uptown Charlotte. In addition to that, you're only 15 minutes from Ballantyne. So anywhere you truly need to go for work-wise or for fun, you're in a great location. So the trade-off of a little bit of traffic here and there because everyone wants to be there is not that bad when you really understand the convenience factor of what this location truly has. So I started with a con, but it could kind of be a pro too. I'll let you make that assumption yourself. Now, Barclay Downs comes in at 31 in the top neighborhoods to live in Charlotte, and it is no surprise to me, and I'm sure no surprise to you, especially once you see what all it has to offer. Now, with this being said though, being in that top ranking for neighborhoods in the Charlotte area, it's going to come with a little bit of competition. And with competition comes higher prices. So let's talk about one of the cons again. Don't worry, it might be a pro. One of the cons again of Barclay Downs has to do with the median home price. The median home value in Barclay Downs is about $1.1 million. Now, while some websites might say it's in the 700s and others may say it's in the 1.5, the average that I've been seeing is 1.1. So what is driving these prices up? Well, for one, it is in high demand, meaning most people want to be there. It is in a phenomenal location between two major business parks, the two largest in Charlotte. You've got shopping, dining, entertainment, etc., walking trails. It's a great family-friendly neighborhood, and this is going to bode to have people want to move in. Well, as demand goes up, so does price. What also pushes price? The lack of inventory. That's right. If you see a home go on the market in Barclay Downs, it'll be off as quick as it was posted. Why? Once again, high demand if you have at least one in inventory. Even if it's a little bit rougher and needs some love, you're going to see it fly off the market. Now, can you find a home under $1 million in Barclay Downs? Absolutely. But in most cases, it's going to need a little bit of TLC or maybe a lot. Now, what makes this also a pro? Well, the good thing about this is if you do purchase a home in the Barclay Downs area, or neighborhood, should I say, you're also going to see that equity grow. Barclay Downs has been at or ahead of the pace of the rest of the Charlotte market for years. This has been going on for a long time. So what you can expect is in making a purchase in this neighborhood, you're going to see your investment grow in equity very quickly, honestly. Not that you're looking to purchase to go ahead and sell in a year, but it's good to know that when you're putting your money into something, you're going to get it back out, and especially having it grow. So, pro, con on pricing? I think it's both. And it depends upon which side you're on, whether you own yet or you're trying to get in. But is there opportunity? Absolutely. There's multiple homes that are getting listed every single month in the Barclay Downs neighborhood. You just have to be ready to scoop it up when it happens. Now I'm going to throw an interesting one at you, and I feel like this one is a bit neutral as well. I know you're probably wondering where the bad stuff is. Don't worry, I'll point something out. But let's talk about rental versus owning. Now, when I say this, I mean what percentage of people that live in this neighborhood rent and what percentage own, meaning you're the primary residence or you live there full time. Surprisingly, according to niche.com, 59% of the individuals that live in the Barclay Downs neighborhood actually rent, and about 41% own. Now, let's keep this all in mind. South Park Mall, although it says South Park Mall, is not in South Park. It's actually in Barclay Downs. In that entire area, you've got a bunch of apartments. Now, if we're looking at the population of a little over 5,000 people, mixed in with single family and apartments, condos, and townhomes, you can understand and see that a lot of this population, about 59%, is coming from those apartments, townhomes, and condos that are being rented. More of the single family homes are residents, so those that live there as their primary residence and own that home. The nice thing is there's a bit of a mix, a little bit of turnover, but the single family areas that are in Barclay Downs do tend to run more so just your homeowner living there as a primary residence, which certainly shows through when we look at the neighborhood itself. If you drive down the street of Barclay Downs, you are going to love it. Beautiful oak tree covered streets. The homes are immaculately kept, although not in an HOA. People truly care about their properties, and it shows time and time again. So don't be too scared off about the fact that there's a high rental percentage. Again, it's mostly in the apartments. Now, a cool ranking that I found was that Barclay Downs is actually rated 23 out of 152 neighborhoods for best neighborhood for young professionals. Now, if you take a look at the age ranges that live in this neighborhood, that makes perfect sense. You've got a lot of young families, you've got great schools, which we're going to get to in a second, but when you look at the population, it definitely bodes well for young professionals, especially being close to multiple business parks, being close to shopping, dining, entertainment, you name it, but still being in a residential neighborhood where you can have a backyard barbecue and walk down the street with your dog, truly enjoying and talking with the neighbors. So it's a nice little happy medium. In addition to that, kind of jumping off of that and springboarding, it was rated 34th out of 152 neighborhoods for best neighborhood for families. It goes without saying, if you've got a neighborhood with beautiful homes and you can walk your dog and your kiddos down the street, it's probably somewhere where other people would also want to raise their families. You'll know when you see it. Here's another pro. If you're looking to get into a more affluent area in the Charlotte area, Barclay Downs is for you. Barclay Downs ranks among the top wealthiest neighborhoods in America, putting it at the top 15% of most wealthy neighborhoods in the United States. Other research shows that it actually tops out higher than 93% of all other US neighborhoods, meaning definitely one of the wealthiest in the nation. Other analysis has shown that the income level of those living in Barclay Downs actually outpace 93% of the rest of neighborhoods in the United States, meaning it is among one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the US. Of those living in this neighborhood, over 53% have an occupational role of either an executive or managerial. In hearing this, it does make sense as the average income in this neighborhood is over $130,000 a year. So let's talk about a con. Property taxes. I am not a huge fan of property taxes, as anyone probably knows, but when it comes to property taxes on the neighborhoods within the Charlotte city bounds, you're going to have both city and county taxes. Now, what's worse than having taxes? Having a property that's valued in the millions because you're taxed on that property value. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of information because this is different from state to state. Although you may pay more when you purchase the home than the actual tax value, your taxes are based on the tax value and will not change but every 5 to 7 years when they do a reassessment. Now, this was done just 2 years ago, so you don't have to worry about one happening for quite some time, but bear in mind, it's not going to reset to your purchase price. Let's go ahead and talk about a pro. Schools. Myers Park has some of the best schools in Charlotte and in North Carolina. In fact, the Myers Park High School comes in 67th out of hundreds of other public schools across North Carolina. Now, in addition to that, they also have access very close by to some of the top private schools throughout North Carolina. Providence Day School, very close by, is actually rated #1 out of all the private schools in Charlotte, North Carolina. This K-12 school comes out with A's across the board, from academics all the way out to sports and everything in between. So if you're thinking about private school and you're also thinking about Barclay Downs, this may be the best spot for your child. I also did an entire video on the best private schools in Charlotte and the best public schools. Go ahead and check in the description below. And just one more con. Let's talk about crime. In fact, the crime in this area is staggeringly low. This is one of the safest neighborhoods in the Charlotte area, as are the surrounding neighborhoods around it. If you're looking for similar neighborhoods, you might even want to check out Dilworth, Elizabeth, or even Beverly Woods. All of these neighborhoods have very low crime rates and great access to the public school and private school system. Now, the last piece of this video, and I'll finally let you go, is more of an opinion, and it's a pro. When it comes to driving down the streets of Barclay Downs, you will truly feel at home. There's a bit of a peace that comes along with walking down or driving down those streets. I don't know if it's the older homes, if it's those that are out walking with their families, if it's those at the racket club, or just out enjoying the outdoors. But you're right in the heart of Charlotte, and yet you feel like maybe you're in Mayberry. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that you truly feel safe and comfortable, and it's exactly where you want to be. So if you've been looking for the best family-friendly neighborhood with great schools, great shopping, short commute times, and literally everything you could possibly look for, then Barclay Downs may be for you. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got a ton of value out of it. Now, I'm sure you have plenty of other questions. Drop them in the comments below. Do you live in Barclay Downs or nearby? What are your thoughts on the area? I know I love it, and I'm always going to share with you what I see and hear and know, but I want to hear from you as well. So drop it in the comments below. And if you're looking to go ahead and learn everything about Charlotte, go ahead and like and subscribe. I would love to have you as a part of my channel, and I thank you so much for your support. And last but certainly not least, I really do get calls, texts, emails, Zoom invites every single day. And yes, I have time for you as well. I want to make your move what you want it to be. So whether it's 9 days or 90 days from now, whether you're moving across the world, across the country, or just across town, be sure to call, text, email. All of my information is in the description below. I'm here waiting for your call so I can make your move exactly what you want it to be. Until next time, I look forward to showing you around town. There's a lot of videos that you can be watching, like this one right here, or maybe even this one. Really either one of these, but honestly, watch both of them because they're going to help you make the move. Go ahead, pick one. They're both really good.